to your Friday drive-by. This is where we answer your questions. The phone number, should you have a question, is 8333-ASK-SDR. That's 8333-ASK-SDR. Remember, if you ask a question, one, you're helping somebody that's probably too shy to ask the question, and we'll send you a swag bag, which usually ends up being pretty fun.
It's also possible that it could be somebody that has a bad short-term memory and can't remember the phone number. Like it's 8333 ask and they can't remember the last three. That's probably what it is.
All right, let's go to this week's question.
Hi, my name is James, and I'm calling from a Honda dealer in Oregon. My question is about follow-up with declined work. I don't really have a good system. I'm trying to find a sweet spot on when to contact the customers so that they come back. Let me know what you think. Thank you.
I think it depends on the brand, first of all, so I'm not sure what brand, because I would
Honda.
handle Honda.
Mm-hmm.
So I would handle Honda different than like Highline, but a lot of times you want to give them a paycheck or two in between. So at least 2 or 3 weeks.
Man, I would almost say there's more variables than that. Just like, so for sure the paycheck part, but like I look at certain declines a little bit differently. So the hair stands up on my neck when I hear about people declining like brakes and tires. Like that's the kind of thing where I would call within a week, even if there wasn't another pay cycle. I remember as an advisor, always thought that like outside of those like have to get it done now, those things where they decline and they probably shouldn't have. I found like this is Infinity, so maybe it's a little bit different, but like a 30-day window is usually pretty good. Like if I gave him a month, but you go 1 or 2 pay cycles.
Well, that is kind of a pay cycle.
Oh, it depends on how you get paid, I suppose. Yeah.
But you've had 2 paychecks usually.
Yeah.
You get paid every other week. Some people get paid weekly, but for the most part, it's every other week.
Yeah. There's also too, but versus when we wrote service, like the financing options are ridiculously easy too.
But if you offer the financing and they don't want to do it, like the other thing too is like I would just ask them like, when do you want me to follow up? And then I would log that, but you can ask them, so they'll tell you. I think I came up with the paycheck thing because I would ask people like when and be like, oh, well, and they would start telling you when they got paid.
Yeah, okay.
And then be like, I'm going to save this much, this paycheck and this much. And so I don't know. I think asking helps a lot.
Did you schedule appointments before they left?
Oh, a lot of times. Yeah. That's
probably another way to shore up the declines a little bit too. Is like you might uncover an objection of whatever it is that the real reason they said no. Is you're like, okay, so you ask them about their pay cycle or they tell you about their pay cycle and then you set it up for the Tuesday afterwards. And if they don't set it up, there's something else.
I would say that the biggest mistake I think is that we leave it to chance or we leave it to the BDC and we don't call ourselves. Because like in my experience, like when you call a customer and you're like, hey, Christian, how was your camping trip or whatever it is we talked about, I would kind of write that down.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, oh, we had a great time. I'm like, oh, that's cool. So I'm just checking on you. I got a little time available and you need breaks. And then I would shut up.
Oh, that's probably a good lesson too. So before you made your call, you had a couple of ideas of when you could get them in.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so you're controlling that whole thing. It's not like,
well, I'm making it sound like I have availability that I didn't. I'm using scarcity.
Yeah. That's great. I like that option too. Is that it's all planned out and maybe at a cancellation or something like that you can sneak them in almost. You're doing them a favor.
It's good.
I hope that helps.
Yeah, thank you. We'll see you next time on Service Drive Revolution. Thanks for watching this week's Drive By. I hope we gave you something to think about over the weekend. We're uploading new stuff every day, so make sure you subscribe and click the bell icon so you don't miss out. If you have a question you'd like us to answer on the show, call 8333-ASK-SDR and we'll answer your question on the show. That's 8333-ASK-SDR. For special deals on our books and training, head over to offers.chriscollinsinc.com. Now that's offers.chriscollinsinc.com. I'm Chris Collins, and I'll see you in the next video.